What's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a VGC video podcast where we go over what's been making waves in the VGC scene. Today, I am joined by my co-host Audie, right above me.
Hello, everyone. No fireworks. I don't know what happened. I'm trying to figure out where the setting went, but it looks like it's not there anymore. So,
Dang.
you have to deal with me normally. Damn, sorry.
No flair for the early episode. He's just not as excited for the European audience, I gotta say. Unfortunate. No, jokes aside. Anyways, we also have two special guests joining us today from Pittsburgh. We couldn't get everybody on last week, and so this one works out good timing wise. We're excited to have Daniel joining us after a hot top four in Pittsburgh. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
And Dylan, you also got top four with the same team in Pittsburgh. How you doing?
Hey, doing pretty good. Excited to talk about the team in my run and Daniel's run.
Awesome. Yes. This is, it honestly was such a, I don't know, a vote of confidence, whatever you want to say, for, Rain. Anybody that's looking to run Rain in future tournaments is just like, dang, maybe this is the one to do it because, both of you getting to top four in a tournament, that's no small feat. So really awesome doing that together. I guess I don't know.
I hope no one looked at the Reg H meta and thought, Rain, that's not a threat. We shouldn't worry about that. We don't need to, I don't know. Really, I think Sand is the big threat. That's the one we really got to counter team.
All I'm saying though is that if you have the opportunity to build with Daniel for a tournament, I recommend doing it. This guy is just taking all of his friends to top cuts of tournaments and stuff like that and beyond. Like that's just awesome. At least you guys didn't have to face off this time. Although the finals,
you're always guaranteed to be on the other side of the bracket as well, so that's always nice.
That's
no
nice.
team kills
That's how you
in
want
top cut.
That's absolutely how you want it. Okay, let me finish the intro here really quick. So, anyways, if you're watching this now, but you'd rather watch this on YouTube, feel free to !YT in the chat. I didn't fix it, so we're gonna just have to type, whatever in there. But CK49 is Audie's YouTube channel, and if you have any questions for us or our guests, please leave them in the Twitch chat. We'll be watching it as we go along and keeping an eye on anything, about these or about their team or any other subjects. Of course, just let us know. And don't feel free to leave a comment on the YouTube as well. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and launch into today's topics. We have a couple of things before we dive really into the meat of it, and that is mostly, tournament signups, as always. Who here is going to Auckland, New Zealand? Nobody? Okay, well,
if this was a regional, not a special event, I think people might have considered it. But a special event, if you're not getting prize money, it's hard to justify paying $60 and flying across the sea.
I feel like the flying across the sea part is a lot more important than the $60.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. It's 60 New Zealand dollars, which I have no idea how many real dollars that is.
At this point, it's just like, dude, you could fly across the country to get a free hot dog. Like, oh, wait a minute, free hot dog. Like, let me get over there. Hold on. It's not really free. I don't know if there's much to
US dollars. 35 USD.
Fair.
Cheap.
That's a couple of hot dogs. A couple hot dogs. Anyways, obviously we're not the right audience for this one, with this being across the world from us, but I did think it was kind of funny that it says that you're registering on Play Latam. I think Audie was the one that pointed that out to me, and I was like, oh, that is kind of funky. Don't really know what's up with that, but it might just be some shared organizers or something like that. All right, and then also coming up is another one that I can't imagine anybody here in the call is going to, but Stuttgart. The registration for that one is, I think, today if you're watching this on YouTube. So make sure to get on that one. This one is a regional. I don't actually know if Europe's done any special events yet. They probably will eventually. They gotta have some planned for the season, but I think it seems like it's been all regionals so far. Anyways, that one's upcoming, and again, I don't even have to ask. I think nobody here is going to this one, so we'll keep it moving.
At least I'm a little more likely to watch this one if the cut's not lame.
Right. Well, yeah,
it's
decent chance of it. Decent chance of it.
And
but,
to answer your question, there's only 2 special events on the schedule right now in Europe, which are Sevilla in end of March and in Turin in the start of June. So
Okay.
mostly cut out the special events, which I think is probably for the better. I know that a lot of the European players are a little annoyed that they don't get prize money from some of the bigger events, from this like 800 person special events in Italy. Definitely really sucks, because those are some of the most competitive events in the world. And so yeah, Stuttgart will be very competitive. A lot of good German players. Very accessible for the rest of Europe, right in the middle of Europe. And so should be a big one. And again, European events feel like they sign up. We're going to talk about this in a second, but I feel like they cap pretty quickly compared to American events. Not always, but I'd sign up for that one early if you are going to go, especially since again now we can get, I think, refunds for regionals in Europe as well. So yeah, no reason not to.
And speaking of events filling up, we actually were supposed to talk about this one last week with regards to Las Vegas selling out. We wanted to mention that one because it was just, I don't know, rather unfortunate. And it also happened quite quickly. I think I heard for TCG it happened in like 5 minutes. And then for video game, I feel like maybe probably closer to an hour. I do know I had a friend that like was like, oh, I forgot Vegas signups happened. And then like 30 minutes later did it and got in. So, but I don't think, like, people the next day absolutely were not able to do it. So super unfortunate. We were talking about this. I don't know if we talked about it on the show or not, but like it genuinely could have been like one of the biggest tournaments, and it's just such a sad thing that they, I don't know, picked such a small hall venue, whatever, that to run this one in, like not just for us but for TCG as well. Sounds like they could have been breaking some crazy numbers if they're selling out that quickly. I mean, a lot of people want to go to Vegas. They want to play a Pokemon tournament in Vegas for being the first one there. That said, Daniel, Dylan, are either of you guys going to this one?
Is unfortunately my anniversary weekend, so don't think I'm able to make this one.
Didn't want to celebrate in
But
Vegas?
as much as I would love to go gamble right after the actual gambling, or before, or the fake gambling. But
Right.
what about you, Daniel?
I am not going. Unfortunately, if I was 21, maybe, it could have been a lot more fun after I bomb day one, but no. Not worth going all the way out. I don't think there's anything special. Like, I don't think I have extra time like to go to Vegas this year.
That is also just like one of the weirdest parts about like we all know what Vegas is about, but like Pokemon is also like a very like younger audience. Like we literally have like younger divisions. So the fact that we're having a tournament here in the first place was just such a strange thing to see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, I'm excited to see what it's like, but go ahead, Dylan.
I just hope they turn the sphere into a big spiel. I think that'll make it peak.
Yeah. I can see a Pokeball. I can see like a Pokeball, but that would also probably be pretty easy to do. That would be hype.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, the reason we're talking about is because that it's sold out, but ultimately it seems like they're adding more spots. I don't know if these are the refunds or whatnot, but it seems like there's going to be a second chance for anybody that is trying to get into Vegas, and with probably still enough time to be booking travel and stuff like that. It's still a little bit of a ways out before the tournament, or a little over a month or something like that. So look out for that this coming Thursday if you missed out on the first chance. Go ahead, Adi.
What I saw, and I think this was from a support ticket or something like that, was that they generally will release refunds in 2 waves. The first is 6 weeks before the tournament. I think the second one was 2 weeks before the tournament, if I recall correctly. Is this 6 weeks before the tournament? Because I also saw that they were talking to the fire marshal about trying to add more seats and what the logistics of that would look like. And so I'm not sure which one this is.
Got it. Let me see the dates. Maybe they're in this one. No, maybe
I think it is 6 weeks out.
Mm-hmm.
It is 6 weeks from the looks of it.
Yeah, that's what Google tells me at least.
All right.
So in that case, I think this is actually just maybe just the refunds too. So might not be any spots. It might be competitive.
Do we know how many slots, or how many people signed up already so far?
I'll check it right now. Let me see here. And yeah, it looks like 856.
That's not gigantic. Yeah, this could have been way bigger. This could have been
I know.
One of the bigger.
Yeah.
Sold out in an hour and or so. Like I don't know, just that's what the word is on the street. But like it sold out so quickly at 856. We could have been huge.
Tragic.
So
I don't know. There's like I remember it was Charlotte was a record breaker in 2024, and then they immediately cut it from the circuit. It was so tragic.
That's true. That's true. That is such
I
a.
heard
That's just
that
sad.
was. Yeah, it's really
I
tragic for us
know.
because we live in Raleigh. But I heard that was like, at least in part because the convention center's not big enough. I don't know how true that was. I just heard that secondhand. But I would love to have Charlotte back.
I for one am sick and tired of going to Charlotte regionals. I think I've been to basically every single Charlotte regionals, and it's a fine city. It's not a city I want to visit for the 5th time. So I'm pretty okay with that one.
Yeah, I gotta
I
agree
just
with
want to know
Audie
when they're
here as
bringing
somebody
back.
who's never been to Charlotte. No, I have no idea what it's like there. Actually, I've never been to these ones. I don't know how we're the complete opposite in that. That's funny.
Maybe it's
I
because
just
we
want to
live
know
on
when they're
opposite sides of the
bringing back.
country. I don't know. That might explain it.
That does play in a part, but it hasn't always been that way. We used to both be in the Midwest.
That's true.
Okay, let's see. Anyways, yeah, so that one that's exciting that there's gonna be some more spots, but yeah, ultimately just don't miss out if you missed the first time. Oh wow, some really exciting one for the next one. The what is it? The Ace Trainer Rewards Program card finally coming to be. If you got like what was the bar, like just like 200 championship points flat or something like that, I think you could get this card. Oh, Adi's lights are finally working.
I found it. It's an extra menu for some reason.
And yeah, it seems I don't know. Actually, I haven't even read the card until this very moment. Once during each player's turn, the player may heal 10 damage from each of the player healing. Okay, so it doesn't seem competitive. It doesn't seem competitive. I don't know TCG, but it doesn't seem good, right? It doesn't.
It does not seem good. No.
Okay.
They try to make these bad on purpose for accessibility, but I think one of the old Worlds promo cards was actually like semi-viable at least not that long ago. Someone can correct me on this. I'm not a big TCG guy, but that was like a big situation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the Worlds card is just
the-
like specifically for Psyduck or something. Like, no, that will ever come up.
Yep, that's what it was. The I think it was Paradise Resorts was what they used to be called. Or maybe that's the new one. I forgot what the old ones were called. Champions Festival, one of the two. And I remember they spiked in price after the London Worlds because you could use them. And it was like a niche use too. It wasn't even common use, but people just wanted to flex. Say they had a playset of the World's prize card, not prize cards, but the World's participation cards. And so, yeah. I mean, they were literally like twice the price what they normally were. They decided never again, which is understandable, but also kind of sad because it was kind of nice to have that have my London trip entirely paid for with one card.
Yeah,
I know that we're not.
I understand.
Go ahead, Daniel.
I think if they're never gonna make them viable, it'd be really cool if they were like full arts instead. Then, like, I don't know. It seems like to be a lot more like interesting. It's like, oh, you made it to Worlds, or at least maybe make the full arts the higher tier ones, the top 32 biased
Right.
card.
Yeah. I'm with you there. It would be fun that way. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to save on the ink or whatever it takes to make the cards. I don't really know. I gotta say though, we're not TCG experts here for sure, but like last week, Izzy was having me line up with her to buy like some new Psyduck card coming to TCG that was gonna be viable, and I immediately was like, wait a minute, is this gonna make that Psyduck Worlds card good? And the people in line that were like TCG players did tell me like, no, that card's still like a worse version of like this and that and this and that, and it all just went right over my head. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I only know Incineroar Parting Shot. I don't know what Festival Plaza or whatever the card is that they were telling me about does. But yeah, so this is finally coming though for people that in the 2025 season got 200 championship points. I think this is also returning this year, the Ace Trainer Awards program. I think that they're still doing it, so maybe this gives you insight into what you can expect for it for the next season. Maybe it's not going to be like too different or something, or maybe it's different art, same card, who knows? But yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really fun is if they had like specific arts for existing cards. So it again doesn't change the actual thing, but just like throw Ace Trainer on, something else. That'd be fun.
Right.
And that's what they do with regional promos, right? Is they give us a version of a trainer card that just has a stamp on it that's pretty cool. And so I think that's a good way of doing it, right? Is make these collectible, but also make them like a good way to flex on people rather than just making them a collectible thing. But I'm actually very curious whether these will be considered collectibles or not, because these are for anyone who had over 200 championship points. Is that right? Which I'm scrolling through the leaderboard from last year, and just for VGC, just for Masters, that is 1,673 people. Now I know that that excludes some. I think that excludes Latam or something like that. So maybe that's going to be a few or smaller, but like and then that's not even including TCG, where that number is going to be even higher, and that's not even including C Master juniors and seniors, where a lot of people got that as well. So you are looking at a whole lot of these copies of this card being sent out. I think this is a cool little promo, but like, don't expect this to be worth very much if you are trying to resell it. And quite frankly, 200 championship points is not a very high bar to clear, so it's not much of a flex either.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I was kind of curious what the resale value is, but I can't imagine it being high with, as you said, so many people getting it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next bit of news that's honestly, it was kind of Pokemon wide, and like it was causing a whole lot of drama, not just VGC, the shiny bikes. I didn't think that we would be talking about this again, after we had previewed it. And actually when, I was just talking about, Izzy, having me go with her to get that Psyduck card. She did ask me right after that. She's like, are we going to get the shiny bikes next week? And I was like, maybe. I don't know. I'll let you know. And then I just kind of forgot about it, never bothered. And I didn't realize it was going to be a whole thing, because wow. Also, by the way, before I forget, somebody in the chat mentioned that today is the last day to get the shiny ruins if you have, or I didn't realize that was coming up so soon. I actually got mine yesterday, and I think somebody was like, oh my god, wait, I need to do that. And I was like, wait, why? And then I guess it's ending soon. So if you want to get your shiny Chi-Yu, your shiny Chen-Pao, and Ting-Lu and Wo-Chien, make sure to go in-game and get those ones. If you're watching on YouTube, it might actually be too late, so go now. But anyways, back to the bikes. So it turns out, as it seems, that the codes were given out, like a limited number of like physical codes at the different stores, the GameStops and EB Games over in the UK. Actually, I think UK was having no issues with this because they like print them out at the store, is what I heard. Whatever. So only in GameStop they were given limited numbers of the codes, and the codes were some people were having issues where they were trying to force you to do a purchase, which is another thing, but mostly it seems that the issue was the codes were running out. It hasn't been released in the UK yet? Okay, gotcha. Maybe they haven't done it yet then. Anyways, there's a code shortage, and go ahead.
Part of why that is because someone mentioned this in chat. There was also a TCG release on the same day, and so a lot of TCG players would go to their store and be like, "Oh, well, cool, I get this for free as well." And so that's part of why. And of course, TCG has a culture of scalping in a way that VGC does not, or reselling. And so that's also part of why you see them listed for exorbitant prices. A lot of people who went to the TCG releases to try to resell these things presumably also saw they had the cartoon dollar signs in their eyes and said, all right, I'll take as many as I can get.
Okay, but this is like a US only thing, because they print them on the receipts instead of distributing code cards to stores in the US, which is just, it does not make sense. There should not be a finite amount of this. They are digital. Just print them out on the receipt and then you just get it. I would be fine having to purchase for it. It doesn't make sense that you go to a GameStop and they could be like, we are out.
Out of this like digital bit of data, it's just like it's dumb. You can see down here at the bottom, actually, this Reddit comments like visited 2 stores and called for, and they're all out. Like it's insane that this is even happening. But more insane is the part that if you've been looking at the screen, then you might know the answer already. But for people just listening, it turns out that the Miraidon is actually technically optimal. I'm not somebody who like completely sweats this stuff. If I want to use a flex pick, like I've used like a Chi-Yu that doesn't have perfect IVs before, just because I was lazy. Like it's not like make or break a whole Pokemon, if you're not using. People have won with bad IV Pokemon plenty of times, but the Miraidon does have a lower attack IV, which is better for foul play, better for confusion. Notably, because Miraidon is a restricted legendary, like foul play is always more common in these restricted legendary formats, and so it does come into play a little bit. Calc is right. We're gonna have to run foul play calcs on Shiny Miraidon later. No, it won't. It'll be a difference of like, I don't know, not enough to like.
It
I've run the
never
calc.
actually matters.
I've run the calc. If you hit yourself in confusion, it does not make a difference. It is actually the exact same roll.
Okay, I do
Okay.
not think it ever matters if you hit yourself in confusion. I know that like Wolf, it came up once for Wolf. I don't care.
It's
It pretty
happened to me
much never
before.
matters where
It's
you hit
happened to me
yourself. Okay.
It's
I've-
happened to you
I've had-
before,
I've-
Adi?
I have back in 2020, when I was using the Gmax Lapras, I hit myself in confusion, survived on 1 HP, and won the game because I didn't, lose my Lapras. So it has happened before.
Anybody
obviously that
remember?
is one game in one tournament 5 years ago out of the 8 years I've been playing competitive Pokemon, including
Anybody
all my practice
remembers?
games and everything. I can think of one incident where this has mattered. But yes, it would be a situation where, keep in mind, you need to switch your Miraidon into a foul play, which otherwise normally they're not hitting your Miraidon with. Take an extra 1 or 2 hit points of damage, which means you have to, and then also have those 2 hit points be the difference between surviving and not surviving an attack. And then also have the difference between surviving and not surviving the attack be the difference in the game of Pokemon, and then have that game be the difference in the set of Pokemon, right? So there's a lot of things that have to happen for this to make a difference. Maybe, right? It's so astronomically low that it will actually make a difference. But at the same time, if you are spending, several $100s to go to a regional, it is worth it to be optimal in every way you can, in my opinion, right? Like I don't want to take that chance. Again, having seen it happen to me before. So if I use Miraidon, I will be using the shiny Miraidon.
I
Thank
take
you
that
for
chance pretty much
validating
every
me,
time.
Audi. Because Daniel has always given me shit about this because I'm very much like an optimal
Nah,
it
I'm
can't matter
glad that
the-
we're a split panel here.
chances.
We're a split panel because I'm actually with Daniel here. Is just like, get over it. Like Adi actually did such a good job advocating for the other side of the argument that I was like, yes. All of the first points that he was making, I was like, it's just not gonna matter. Come on.
But it could.
And
The big
yet
thing
it
that
doesn't
me and
matter
Daniel-
because it's happened once, and that's all it needs to happen for it to make. If I ever lost a set at a tournament because of 1 hit point of foul play damage, I would never forgive myself, right?
Okay,
that's
to
all
be
I know.
fair,
That's what
you
I
have to
always
be
tell Daniel.
You have to be so like stupidly aware that it even happened, man. Like I'm just gonna be like there are bigger things to be worrying about in this set. Like if you lose because of this, don't look back at that set and be like, if I had the perfect IV Miraidon, I actually won. Maybe look at the turns that you got wrong. Maybe look at the the 50-50s that didn't go your way. Maybe look at the game plan that you cooked up that didn't work. Like, there's or the team that you brought. Like, I don't know, there's so many things you can go to before you're like, actually, yeah, I lost because of the IV.
I will
Daniel
use
thinks-
optimal IVs if I have them, but if I already have a Pokemon, then I'm just gonna use it. We spent hours before Worlds 2024 hunting a 0 IV Landorus. It never came up for anyone ever.
We were also
And I got-
Terra Ghost on that Landorus, to be fair. I do.
Oh my god, yeah.
This guy thinks I'm crazy for not using that shiny Chi-Yu because it's like 20 attack IV and I already have a 0
Yes,
attack.
I am. He looks so much cooler.
It does look so much cooler, but I'll wait till
Actually-
champions till they remove IVs and then I can use the shiny one.
Now listen, I actually have even a different angle for this argument entirely, by the way. So Miraidon usually runs choice specs, right? And that means that if you run into like something with Disable, or you run out of Electrodrift PP or Draco Meteor PP, you're going to start using Struggle. Don't you want to do more damage with Struggle? Actually, it turns out the shiny one is suboptimal. All right? You want that max attack IV.
hyper training the.
Oh, you're right. You can just
shiny
run the shiny one
one.
that way.
Hyper training the
That's
shiny
true.
one to make it less optimal for most situations.
If you hyper train your shiny one, you're crazy.
I think this will be incredible when all this discussion does not matter whatsoever when they don't bring any restricted format back and then we go straight to champions where we get to, use any IV. At least that's what I'm hoping happens.
I think for the
Right,
majority
right.
of players, the special attack or the attack optimization never comes up. They just optimize it because they can, and it is technically correct.
Yeah.
I don't think Adi is the first person I've ever met that has had it come up in a game.
He's just lying, dude. I believe he's lying. He just made that up. Adi, wait, I have to ask though, was it a Gmax Hatterene?
Yeah, it was a G-Max Hatter. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
It was
It
Hatteran versus
confused
Loppers.
both, right? Did it confuse
Mhm.
both? God, dude, that was it was nerfed confusion. Like only the 30, is it 30 or 33? I'm blanking on that one. Same difference, but
Crap, yeah.
but
That
anyways,
was a
that
format where it actually really did kind of matter because Hatteran was so common.
I guess
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah.
And so
Right.
it was real.
Yep.
This format, it's like what Pelipper can hurricane you, and you can straight get strange steamed by a Weezing, and that's
Yeah.
like it, right? Like it's not
Wow.
here.
I actually
you
didn't think
have
the
to
second
get
one. I
Hurricane
forgot about that.
confused, self hit, and you have to be in a winning position even if you lost your turn to the self hit, which is like
Right.
Oh, dude, actually, there's another one. And I actually got hit with it at a tournament. I played against was it Brandon Davis? I think he had alluring voice in DD with just an Aboma Snow, but like he set up Trick Room against my Archaludon, went for Blizzard, and then I got my stamina boost from the Blizzard, and then alluring voice didn't confuse me, and I self hit, and I was just like, oh. That's a strategy. That's actually kind of based. Wow.
I never thought
Against
about
specifically Archaludon.
Just to
that's
add
so
on to
good.
this, something that our friend Riley lost to at a tournament, power split Arachnid. So you don't want to give them more attack when they click power split into you.
Power split, no.
You are still running max attack because you want liquidation.
That's awesome.
Oh
That's
shoot,
awesome.
strength sap. Damn it, I'm wrong. Okay, whatever.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
the
strength
strength
sap's not
sap.
real.
We
Strength
could be
sap
here all
matters,
day
okay.
coming up with examples.
Okay, but strength sap.
And most of them will never
matters.
happen.
No, strength sap.
The
can happen.
confusion does not activate stamina, no, like the self hit. That is a funny question, though. Somebody else mentioned Aegislash in the chat. I feel like I'm the actual only boomer here that was playing back when Aegislash was like good and viable. So, but I'm totally here for you. But oh man, maybe Aegislash
Coming back in Champions. It's gonna be
yeah,
good.
it definitely could be good in that one. Is it if it's not already?
It's gonna walk.
That would be...
It's gonna walk Kangaskhan. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only we had some other ghost steel type who did it all.
Dude,
if he's in Champions Day 1, we're cooked.
He's 1,000. I feel like him being another 1,000. I don't think he's getting dexited immediately.
No, he's not. Presumably they're gonna add everyone just eventually, but
yeah, that's true.
One last thought about the shiny legendaries is that my understanding is that all the shiny legendaries are like identical. The only difference is that the obtained date, right, in your game, you can't tell like who got it, when they got it, or when they got they're all the same, which is different than the Miraidon that I catch in my game and the Miraidon that you catch in your game, where you couldn't tell that they are different Miraidons. Do with that information what you will when you are worrying about how to obtain one of these. So
wow, looks like all of us just got them. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to talking about the next thing, which is the Global Challenge, Grand Challenge upcoming. We actually had a fun little bit of drama that happened over the weekend that got resolved before we recorded here. But ultimately, yeah, the registration for the Grand Challenge got overwritten with by the Terrestrial Crescendo here, and so basically you couldn't sign up for the GC. You could only sign up for this little fun tournament that for whatever reason, or I don't think it's actually normally something we would be talking about here on Top Takes. You just it's just a celebration of the shiny bikes. I think you use a bike and one other Pokemon and just compete in kind of like a grand challenge, but not for any stakes. You get some Terra Shards if you sign up and play in it. So
you get a lot of Terra Shards. You get 1,200 Terra Shards for signing up.
Oh, really? Wait,
it's kind of worth it to play a game. Yeah, you get 1,200 Terra Shards and a Master Ball. It is worth your while to play one game of this.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will put my bundle, my scarf bundle Miraidon and just start clicking buttons.
Yeah, right. Flutter Koraidon being 1 speed slower. No.
Yeah.
Until you fight Scarf Flutter, of course. Actually,
Yeah,
Scarf Flutter sounds broken. Wait a minute.
It seems like a really fun and healthy metagame, anyways.
So, yeah, this tournament was going to, cause issues for the Global Challenge, but it seems like the Global Challenge is back, or Grand Challenge, it's back with, it's still going to be happening this coming weekend. So, we've talked about it before, not the largest share of anybody's Worlds invite as compared to previous seasons, but still something that you might want to spend your time playing in if you want the chance of getting some points while from the comfort of your own home. And so yeah, that's coming up this weekend. I think we were talking about the numbers a bit last week, but yeah, it's still nice to just kind of look at these and just generally know that two things. One, don't expect the region disparity to be the exact same, and that's not just me as an NA player coping, saying we'll do better next time. But I do think there's a decent chance that we see maybe you need to get a deeper run for NA, and then overall the numbers should go downward. They just kind of do over time, whether it's like interest or whatnot. I don't even know what the primary factors are. People parking at lower numbers than they need to. I don't know. I mean, whatever. It's beyond me, but ultimately just keep an eye on
inflation, right? It's just the number. Every player that loses is points that you give to a player that wins, and so the more people that play, the more points there are on the table. And so
right.
That's literally all it is. It's just how many people are playing and how many games do you play, and over time, fewer people sign up for these.
Yeah, so it is a loss of interest that mostly causes the decay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. But anyways, yeah, this is coming up this weekend, and yeah, I'm kind of curious. Daniel, what's your best finished in a GC?
It was the last one. I got 60th, so I got 13 points.
13 points.
32 at NA.
Congratulations.
And then I went to a local with Altaria and got 15 points. So I don't really know.
Walking away with a clean 13. Dylan, what about you?
I had like one promising GC run. It was before Orlando 2024, and I was like, I want to keep my team hidden, so I'm just gonna not play. And I ended up getting top 16, so I'm glad I did that. But I've never been a big fan of the GCs, and I haven't had like a crazy run yet. But maybe that'll change this season, and I get like 30 points out of it.
Yo, 30 points! Now don't get carried away.
Ooh, maybe I could get top 8, then fight for those last 2 points in top 4.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I was just kind of curious because we always like to just talk about like what people are, what are the secrets to success in these tournaments, and I don't think I have any new ones, so I'm actually not going to bother asking everybody to come up with one because we've said it all before. If you want to know how to do well in these things, go watch previous episodes where we previewed the GCs because we've got like 8 more coming this season, or 7 more this season.
No. The question we got to ask these guys is how do you beat Rain in closed team sheet? Is there like a thing that you would always fall for?
I fall for so many things. I don't think you can limit it to just one.
I think we used the GC team with Sunny Day Superior at one point. Just throwing Sunny Day on a weird guy can like really mess with Rain's game plans.
I totally did that. Yeah, no.
And so their power herb Archaludon instead, and then they still get the elect shot off at least.
True.
But another one was like more specific to our team. But if I assume this also applies to the Elizabeth team to some extent. If you're playing like a really fast Tailwind hyper offense team. And you think they're going to trick room against you, just run taunt on Whimsicott. Because we would always have to change your game plan for that. It's not like the
Sash
craziest
on a fucked
pick.
up guy.
Yeah, that too.
Sash on a fucked up guy is one of the best GC strategies out there, dude. You hit something way too bulky to have a Sash. I mean, like, honestly, it seemed like best of 3 play, but like Blood Moon or Saluna is like a fun one. I know that we've seen some people do well with that, but what if I put Sash in my Dragonite? Sash in or Focus Dragonite. You're not even ready for it. The worst set you've ever seen. Okay, so
to this format, but Raging Bolt also gets taunt. With that information, what you will, if that's ever relevant again. No one knows that.
Everything gets taunt.
Yeah.
I think like it's funny because like King Am is a dark type, but if I got taunted by one, I would be like, "What do you mean?" I would just break my switch in half, dude.
It's like 15th on the list of moves you want to put on that guy.
Yeah, maybe lower.
Raging Bolt doesn't have hands though. It's like what is he taunting you with?
I don't know. That's a good question. So yeah, we've got actually I think I'm gonna move the Victory Road challenge to the end here. Let's jump over to talking about Pittsburgh finally. So you both ended up making it to the top 4 with the same team here, Dylan and Daniel. And so I guess I don't know, whoever wants to start first, I don't know, it's kind of tricky because I don't actually know the story behind how you ended up choosing these Pokemon. Yeah, walk us through how you ended up making your way to top 4 with this team.
So I can start us out. So I was looking at Toronto results like before we, really started Reg H Part 2 again, just trying to figure out what to do. And I noticed that, like I really wanted to run Rain, but also I really didn't want to lose to Marco Sun. I guess this wasn't a totally correct call, but I thought more people might be picking it up. And I know the team that Torviv used to get second at LAIC kind of lost to it pretty hard. And I noticed that Marco at Toronto, he lost to 3 people, and 2 of them were Wolf. But the other one was Noah Gardner. I believe he's a Georgia player, and he was using this really cool looking Rain team, and he top cut with it as well. But I also hadn't seen it on ladder a ton, so I thought it might be a little under the radar. It's the exact same 6 Pokemon, almost all the same sets as well. But I thought this looked cool, and I tried it out, and it was going really good on ladder with it. I was trying to get my friends involved as well. They weren't having as much success, but I was feeling great. I was like, okay, I got my Milwaukee team already. This is perfect. This is like a week or so in. And then I kind of bombed on ladder for a while. Never get your hopes up, I guess, is the message takeaway there. But I was just not feeling confident with the team again because of, I'd say, like recent meta shifts. Something that we'll probably go into a little more in a second is that like a lot of the newer teams that popped up are not great for this 6. But Daniel had some cool ways eventually when, we tried a bunch of stuff and it didn't work. And I decided to just go back to this because I was comfortable on it. Daniel had a bunch of cool ways of changing the spreads around and kind of like handling the matchups better as well.
I made them faster.
I'll go. Yeah. So I'll go. I have a team report on. I have a team report on Darsh Patel's channel in a few days, Dark Type Darsh on YouTube, where I'll probably be talking about this more. But the Ensign is Max Jolly. That ended up being, I think, a very good call for the tournament. There were a lot of other people using it. And the Arch is 122 speed stat, so it's like right under it. But also we're like faster than pretty much every other Arch, and that let us like destroy the mirror pretty much. We were very confident in the mirror, and like we were very confident in like 1 or 2 other matchups. Like Sand was a great one. But I'd say like into most teams, this 6 is like you kind of have to outplay. Like most matchups are like pretty close to even, maybe a little bit favored for you a lot of the time. Because like ultimately, like the team, you have so much power, you have so much bulk. Like this is probably just like one of the biggest stat balls of a team that you can run in the format right now. Just because like you can blow up guys with Basc Legion, you can blow up guys with Ursa Luna, you can set up with Arch and make it unkillable with Sinistra. You can click Life Tube forever. And of course, Incineroar is also there, just exasperating all those things. But yeah, we were pretty happy with at least like how we could perform with the team, not necessarily like where we were like into the meta with it. But yeah, that was pretty much like our thought process going up into Pittsburgh.
I gotta say that's like one of the cooler things to hear out of this already, is just kind of like acknowledging that your team might not have been hitting the meta at its like weakest point here, but just sticking with what you know and what you're confident with, and just making it work anyways, and not letting the the ladder demons get to you. Because I feel like I know that myself and plenty of other people listening to this have talked themselves out of using maybe the right team for a tournament because of ultimately some practice, a bad practice session where they lost a few too many times to things that they'll never see again, but ultimately, convinced them to make a bad decision, basically.
Right.
I
think that
I just didn't have anything better. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna use Dylan's team because I don't have anything better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're also very comfortable with Rain. Like 3 out of 4 of my day 2s have been with Rain. Daniel's day 2'd with Rain, I think 5 out of 7 times, right? Pelipper's been there. But also we ran Rain plus Trick Room with Ursaluna at Louisville last season. And then 3 of our group members day 2'd with that. Joey Woodring top cut with that as well. So it's very similar to that team. That team had P2 Ursa on it, so a little bit different. No fish there. But I remember us saying back then that like, if we could have a 7th Pokemon, we'd love Basc Legion. So glad that we finally got to kind of make that happen with this team. Sinistra kind of role compressing the P2 and the Among Us a little bit.
Right. That's the thing with these rain teams. I like to call it like the rain box or something, where like there's like 8 Pokemon you want on this team that you can ultimately only end up running 6. The 2 missing here are like the ones that are on Elizabeth Rain with Dragonite and Golden Go. Both like Dragonite giving you that side scale shot option, just being an amazing Pokemon in general. In the mirror, it's pretty good. And then Golden Go really helpful for those Ninetales. Ninetales can be so annoying for rain teams, so having an extra way to get rid of it can be nice. But Then, if you run the Elizabeth Rain team, you might struggle a little bit into Sun. Incineroar is really good into the Sun teams, as you were mentioning. So, and then Bass is a really cool fast option, another strong option. Bass has a lot of strengths of its own, of course.
I remember we were looking at the Elizabeth Rain team. I just don't like Scale Shot Dragonite. I don't care how good it is. It could destroy me every game on ladder. I'm not clicking a 90% accurate move as my only option. I don't like it.
Yeah. I'm kind of with Daniel on this one. I was not a huge fan of trying out. I think like Daniel, didn't you say like you tried Dragonite on like a similar build to this at one point and you missed Scale Shot like turn 1 game 1 like your first time?
Yeah, and then I dropped him from the builder immediately. I don't like it. I don't want to put this guy on the field and it's like, man, there's just a 10% chance he's gonna do nothing this turn.
I feel that absolutely. Man, but then when your opponent uses it against you and they get 2 Scale Shot crits and you're just like, okay, cool, 5 hits, awesome, This is so fun. I'm a big Dragonite fan though. I actually love using the Scale Shot button. It's so fun. Let's go gambling. Anyways, it's kind of funny. On a completely different note, it looks like Ninetales actually didn't take any of the top 4 spots here. So whatever, we'll probably talk about that a bit more in the next tournament because we're gonna be breaking.
I think we killed them both actually.
Oh, okay. So you guys actually took out the Ninetales.
Actually, no.
It looks like there's 3 actually.
Lucy was also there.
Yeah. Lorcy killed by Chepa.
Okay, so you guys didn't play Lorcy. But yeah, man, I lost my train of thought. Ninetales. Ninetales is actually, I feel like, the real RNG demon in this format. With the blizzards, I swear that's like the new Dire Claw right now. Ninetales is becoming so common, and you'll think that you've got a game like locked up, and then it's like, oh, actually, there is just a 10% chance that you're completely robbed of your turn. I mean, it's like more like a 8% chance because you can thaw instantly, right? 20% of the time. So, anyways. Click Blizzard and Dire Claw. No, that doesn't work because if you get the Dire Claw poison, then I can't freeze them.
That's why you got to run your Adamant Sneasler to underspeed your Ninetales so that you get the freeze chance first, and then you get the Dire Claw chance. Yeah. See, that's how you.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that someone's probably like thought of that like before now.
No. Dylan, let's start with. Oh, go ahead, Adi.
Oh no! I mean, I'm looking at Rushal's team, right? That's exactly what that team does, right? It's the team that has both those guys on it, and it's so obnoxious because it can get so
Poison
lucky.
touch.
And, like you said, it doesn't have any chances of missing really. It's so obnoxious.
Where's where's Flame Body? Flame Body would be a fun addition to this.
That's the GC tech. They're not spoiling your Magmar.
No, they're definitely not.
You get to bait the Urshifus with that one.
But here's the problem. If you get the Flame Body bird, then you can't freeze them.
Yeah. No, I guess.
No, Heatwave definitely does not thaw. There's like 5 moves that thaw.
Heatwave is unfortunately not one of the ones that thaws. You guys did actually have a move that thaws though on your team.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Also, I found this out when I found this out from the Matt Tid team report, but yeah, I didn't realize that Heat Proof actually halves your burn damage either. That's a fun fact.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's done that for a very long time, and what I mean by that is it does that before because Heat Proof's been in the game for a while. It did that before burn got halved in terms of the amount of damage it does.
That makes sense.
But then they halved the amount of damage that burn does, ultimately kind of buffing Flame Orb and just making it always the better choice. But yeah, Heat Proof, I guess. What is that then? That's what is the number of that? It's a gross number.
Like
a 48, right?
Huh? No, it would be 16. It would be a 32. So or one.
Oh, burn is a 16, right? So
32. A 32. Y'all.
Wait, that relevant to the GC. It was like on Pokemon in Pokemon Home. They all did the like. It was like 33th in the GC.
Yes. I remember seeing that. So silly. Okay, so Dylan, let's start with your run though. What was like the most standout game in your whole tournament run?
I had like a few sets that I was like super proud of. Like my round 3 versus Yichin, I had to make a bunch of calls. And I'm really proud of my ability to play out there in a not great matchup. I didn't really get great matchup luck, at least not compared to Daniel. We'll get into that in a second. But I also was really happy with my top 8 set versus Rushil. I was glad to be the first person to click Rage Powder in front of 2 grass types on stream, as far as I'm aware at least, because I was thinking about next game and just kind of match something really quick. But honestly, the standout though has to be my round 1 and 2. I played 2 people in the same building group. They're on the exact same 6, and I think they might have been the only people in the whole tournament on that exact same 6. I played. I think Craig Campbell is an editor for.
Pengy, I believe.
I think
right?
he's. Yeah, I think he's Pinky's editor. Very, very nice guys. Hated to team kill them both like that though, and it wasn't a great matchup either. The Goggles Gambit was pretty annoying for a lot of our game plans there. Gambit in general is very scary for our team, but having the Gogs means that like we can't just bring Sinisha in later and then stop it from getting an extra hit off on the Arch, and then also having to worry about the fighting press as well. We mouse hold in general not great for us. Just a lot of things I needed to play around here, but yeah, my second round was very close, but.
Man, running into it twice immediately is insane. That's so stupid.
It's a crazy way to start off the tournament.
Right.
And also, both of my losses being so early as well. I was kind of like, I'd say I was kind of just fighting for my life the whole run, a little bit, and I got bailed out a few times for sure. I almost forgot. Sorry, but I don't mean to go on too long. But my round 8 versus Jeremiah Paul, JP. He's a local of ours, and there was one weekend that we went to 3 locals in the area. Not really in the area. We drove like 4 hours for the first one, and then stayed at a friend's house. That was back when like we didn't really have any near Raleigh. But JP went undefeated that whole weekend. He beat all the locals there, and he beat all of us. He beat me 5 times. I got second, fourth, and second, losing to him each time. And I'd never beaten JP. This is my first time beating him. But I saw he was round 8, which it always sucks to play your friend, like especially for a win and then for day 2.
Right.
But turn 1, game 1, immediately he -1 knockoff crits my Sinisha, killing it instantly with his Incineroar, and I lose on the spot. Game 2, I'm able to pull it back, and then game 3, I'm in a losing spot, but I crit him back, and I'm able to get the win.
Oh god!
So, that was
you guys
definitely
couldn't even have a clean set.
my most cinematic set of Pokemon I think I've ever played.
Yeah. Wow.
All things considered.
Somebody's asking about water Tauros. Do I type in T here? I think probably Tauros, Paldea, Aqua Breed. There you go. You got 3 Tauroses. They did not make day 2. Tough. Maybe next time. Anyways, Daniel, let's jump over to your much luckier run. So you had a much easier schedule as far as I've heard.
Absolutely free. So I immediately was like, we only have like one really solid gameplay, which is into the sand teams. So you might notice my 4 sand day 1. And and 4 sand, 4 sand, 2 weatherless, and my first rain was a mirror in round 10 against Riley, who has the same team. So yeah, I'm farming matchups. It's awesome. And then I played Marco's son, which is like not that bad of a matchup, but I almost took him to timer until he forfeited. It's whatever. I'm glad I got to win a game on stream before getting absolutely dumpstered the next round. So
yeah. The let's see. So yeah, I mean, was there any one set that stood out the most then, I guess, would you say, from your run?
Let me think. Okay, I remember getting destroyed by Ofamezi, and I think I was like, damn, I got owned. And then I lost a shot, but I was like, damn, I got owned. But it was a lot worse in top 4 than it was than round 9. So I'm gonna say Justin Tang because it's a fun stream match. It's like, yeah, no, we just gambled the game turn 1 every game, and and then actually, oh wait, James Evans, I had to we were jolly instant speed tying, so I gambled the game on a knockoff, on winning the knockoff speed tie, and I win it, and then I lose to him getting a double protect. Which is like fair because like I kind of won 4 speed ties in a row because I didn't realize it was a speed tie until I party shot like second in Trick Room.
That's
and I was
awesome.
like, wait, first. I party shot first in Trick Room. And I was like very confused. Anyway,
sometimes that's actually
like Sash guy. It's scary.
That can be the deadliest mislead, is like winning a large number of speed ties and your opponent the whole time is just like, dang, they're winning a lot of speed ties. I know this is a speed tie. And the whole time you're like, I'm just faster, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make all these
Like-
plays with confidence. And then you find out like way too late. It's like you finally lose that one and you lose the game because of it. It's like, oh god, I did not know. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think Jolly
okay.
Instant was a big thing, but it was everywhere.
Apparently, that's so funny. I was not super aware myself. So, yeah. I mean, it's always funny when this happens. I feel like it happened a lot in like Reg G, the first run around, where it was just like the instant speeds go all the way up, and then it becomes cool to go all the way back down and be like, actually, I'm not playing your game. I'm gonna save my 252 EVs in speed and be much slower. But I don't know. There's a lot of cool things you can do with Fast Instant, of course. I really like your guys' ability to like be able to parting shot into Pelipper and then go for Electro Shot. That's a really strong play.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
And then the knock into other Arch and Dragon Pulse is also really fun because they got so much more damage without that vest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The knock before, like, it seems like a lot of teams are actually trying to do that. Like the Choppa team was doing the same with the Golden Go being slower than the instant. Just knock before gold going for it. I guess just getting rid of these assault vests. It's important. It's sick. Okay, so yeah, then I guess any other comments on the Pittsburgh team or the Pittsburgh run before we oh, not that one. Before we move on here.
Oh, I'm gonna say this. Dylan had a 95.7% chance to KO the Primarina that lost him the game. Then he missed it without
Oh
crits,
my
of
gosh.
course. So I was just doing the calcs because I was like, it's guaranteed onto no bulk. So I pulled up the Matt Tid team report to see what his bulk was, and it's only 36 defense. It's like this can't change the roll that much. So he has one roll to live if because he got a low roll on the Archer's Electro Shot. Just wanted to put that out there.
The 1 in 16, dude. Ah, that's.
I mean, I got pretty lucky to be in that position, so you know, you can also like, you can't really ever complain about luck in Pokemon. Like, a lot of it's in your control. A lot of times when you're in a situation where you need to get bailed out, or when your opponent gets bailed out, like you could have played better, and I think I definitely could have played that set better.
Right. That's a good attitude
But
to
I
have
think-
about it, especially.
I can't
I
compare
think
my luck
Matt's
'cause I get lucky
team
too
is.
much.
I think Matt's team just did a lot of cool things, like just catching people off guard. I think the main reason is just I didn't really know like my lines into it, and that's probably like what a lot of people who lost him over the weekend would say. There's definitely a lot of innovation left in Reg H, I think, is the big takeaway from this tournament. You know, we're into the second round already, and there's already so many, like, there's just new sets popping up every tournament that like come to win it all. The Yawn Blood Moon from Frankfurt, or the Sash Basc Legion, which I think is going to be like probably a mainstay going forward after this tournament.
Right. Would you say that you're a fan of Reg H?
I'd say I would. Like, at least compared to Reg I don't think Daniel was a big fan of Reg I either. I don't know. There's just so many more like cool Pokemon you can use, and like that can be a bad thing. Like, if a metagame is too unpredictable, it's very hard to build, especially if you like tend to build like trying to counter the meta. It's a lot harder to do that when it's like just so many things you have to cover for. And that can just inevitably cause like matchup fishing being like optimal. But I think in Reg H, there's like the unfair things you have like actual counterplay for. Like, if your team's really bad into like Dire Clawed Cheese, you can put a Covert Cloak on there, or put an Electabuzz on there. It's not like Urshifu where that guy always hits through Protect. Like the big like broken crazy guys in this format, I think all have like very strong, very reasonable counterplay.
Right. Absolutely. Daniel, what about you? You like H or not?
It's definitely one of the better formats I've played. You know, let's see, I went to E, I didn't love that. And F was fun, but I wasn't good then. So yeah, of G, H, and I definitely like H more than I, but I have unfortunately a soft spot for G over everything.
Wow, I can't think of any reason why. I can't think of any reason why.
I'm just
So
excited
funny.
for when they bring Regulation F back, because I'm pretty confident that is our next format. Like,
Oh, really? Okay, that's a fun hot take. Honestly,
I
it's
think
like
there is an
mildly
almost, yeah, I think there's an almost 0% chance we go back to Reg I, and the reason why I
Insane.
think that is back when they announced Reg that we were going to Reg H the first time. It was right after Reg G Worlds, and they're like, when they made that announcement, they at the same time were like, by the way, we're going back to Reg G after Reg H is over. It was the exact same situation where we had the restricted meta of Worlds, and then we went to a non-restricted meta of Reg H after, and then we were doing the repeat format after that. But this time they didn't. Yeah, they didn't say that. So I feel like if we were going to Reg I right after, they would have made it clear from the get-go that we would have, that we were going to be going right back to Reg I. I don't know like what their logic was like last time, why they announced it early, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they that doesn't confirm it or anything, right? Like they could just not have told us this time around. But I think like it probably just makes sense, like at least from like a getting people excited thing. But it's also possible they omitted that to not reveal like any unconfirmed information about like when Champions is coming out, because presumably we're going to be on the next format for 3 months because we're on this one for 3 months. So that would mean we'd start Champions in March, but they don't want to like, they may not know that for sure. And they also probably don't want to confirm anything already. So.
Right.
Yeah. And also I think that there's a mismatch between the ladder and the formats now. And so they don't have to align with whatever the Pokemon company Japan, I assume, is the ones who decide the ladder. And so now that they don't have to align with that, they have a little more time to make that decision, or they don't have to reveal it, I guess. So that's maybe another reason why they didn't want to talk about it. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Also, I think I think Reg F would just make a lot of sense to come back, because it's like the only like, besides I, of course, we never had that one come back. I mean, we could be going to G again. I wouldn't hate that. I'm sure a lot of people.
Wait, we never went back to C. What do you mean? We never went back to Regulation C.
Yeah, I don't know. It's also like technically we could be going to like Reg H with paradoxes. That's like something that I was like really confident that I think we would have probably done that if we had like a full year of Scarlet and Violet, just because they need to fill it out. But like with them announcing J being mythicals, I think that makes it a lot less likely, considering the fact that like, there wasn't a series after 13 in Sword and Shield. Like as soon as the mythicals got announced, that was it. But different situation, of course, because now it's not lining up with the card ladder. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
No, 100%. I honestly, I don't know. I think I'd take F. I think I'd take F over I, personally. F has its own share of issues, of course. Adi, you don't seem to want it either. What's your thought?
Reg F is, I think, my least favorite format of the entire generation.
Sure.
It was the like single most boring format to play. Every single team had Instant, Urshifu, Grass type, Raging Bolt, and it just felt like you were throwing if you didn't. And that just did not. That just such an uncreative format, unfun format. Whereas at least Reg I think had like, and I don't think we're gonna do better than that, because how do you do better than those guys in a format that doesn't have restricteds? Whereas I think at least Reg I, we saw some innovation. We saw it progress quite a bit over the course of the year. We saw the metagame trends change, right? Like no one really expected Koraidon to take over Worlds. So I do think that we're going to see, I think that even if we went back to Reg I, we would continue to see the format develop, whereas Reg F, I just can't see any real format development, and that's really the difference maker for me. I would much rather play Reg I than Reg F.
I think there could be a development style. I think people were bad at using Blood Moon at the time, and maybe a bit of Ursaluna. So like, I think there's definitely a little bit more to come.
I'm just laughing because if we go back to Reg F, there's going to be a lot of people using Sneasler when they probably shouldn't be, just because they're like, oh, he was so good in H.
I really don't want it to be good. I don't want it to be good.
I don't think it will.
I hate Sneasler as well. I think that
I could see it as just your anti-fairy type thing for the to deal with the Terra Fairy bolts if you're gonna lose.
That's what I was gonna say. I think a lot of the tools that we've learned are good in Reg H can definitely be applied to Reg F. Like a big thing was no one was using Archaludon. I know Adi, you were experimenting with it in Reg F, but I think that guy's really good. I think I did okay. I did pretty good at Orlando with it. With Thunderous, I had like almost a 100% win rate versus Bolt Balance with that team. So I'd love to go back and try it again. Very biased take here, but I think like in general though, there has to be a lot more. There's probably a lot more meta development to happen in Reg F, because Sneasler does seem pretty good into Bolt Balance stuff, and Arch is probably better than people were giving it credit for at the time as well. And I don't know, maybe the AV Blood Moon stuff that people use in Reg H would be reasonable then too, but I don't know, maybe not because of Urshifu.
My 2 cents on Arch were, I guess, besides Ursh being able to crit through the stamina boosts, was I think that like also just some of the special attackers muscled through it a little bit better than the ones we have available now, like mainly Fluttermane and Landorus. they give it a bit of difficulties depending on the set. But I think it could be worth trying. Absolutely.
Terra Fairy, Raging Bolt, that was on a Combine, that was on every team, right? Like that one's obnoxious.
I will
see all these things are. I loved clicking Prankster Eerie Impulse, especially because I played a few people at locals that didn't know that worked on landers. So I would just Eerie Impulse the Lando and would do like 40-something% to my arch. What's that?
Was that me?
I don't think it was you, but it might have been at one point.
All right. Let's.
The format that I still wish we would go back to is I wish they would go back to the banning the top Pokemon, except they actually like did it well. Because banning top 10 actually doesn't ban any rain Pokemon from Reg H, but if you ban the top 20, you get rid of like rain, you get rid of like basically all the weather setters except for Tyranitar. You get rid of Sneasler, you get rid of Goldengo, Incin, Amoonguss, Rillaboom, all those guys. I think it'd be really fun to play a low power format like that again. And you know, maybe it just becomes a Dozo Fest, but like that'd be pretty cool. I wish we went back to that like we did in Series 6 back in 2020, and they never tried it again for some reason. No, not biased at all.
I feel like ban lists are hard to do unless you have someone who actually like, you know, spends time knowing the metagame. You know?
God forbid the Pokemon company has someone who knows how to play Pokemon on their staff.
Dude, I'm looking, by the way. I feel like I think you can use like at least the scary half of Marco Sun still. I think you can still use actually, yeah, you just can't use the bear, but I think you can still get like Charizard, Jumpluff, Torkoal if you ban top 20. At least looking at this.
That's fine. I don't care. I got Terrifier. I got safety
goggles. Care. He doesn't care.
I don't care. I got a Tyranitar, man. I don't know. Whatever.
I guess.
All right. True. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to talking about the last item here, which is the Victory Road September Challenge, because this took place over the weekend, and wow, were the results kind of like
this team is everywhere, and I don't think it's as good as it gets the results for. I think it's a great team, but I think it is getting way too many results for how good it is.
I'm with you there. Like it seems like it's just the right play style for enough people. They're just like, you know, Incin Rilla is back because I don't know. I've talked about this a couple of times, especially when this ended up winning. But like Incin Rilla doesn't quite see the level of play it does in Regulation H as it does the restricted formats. But I'm sure that this like called to a lot of people where they were just like, I get to just, you know, play Protect the King with Goldengo or Sneasler or Yawn Blood Moon and just switch to the green guy, switch to Mario, switch to Luigi. And just go for Fake Out again, go for Pivot again, and I guess it just calls to a lot of players, especially like strong players who can use those tools well. So
yeah, no,
I agree with Daniel, but I think that like we're also probably really biased because I think Jolly, like having a faster Fake Out into this team is like very, very good. Like the Jolly Incin went crazy in this matchup, especially with Taunt. So I think if you're trying to beat that, then that's definitely a very reasonable way to do it. Because when you're faking them out first, they can't do like near the things that are really annoying nearly as well.
And how do I beat the Jolly Incins, you know, with my Jolly Incin? Do I run like Quick Claw to get like a little bit of an
200,
edge?
you under 260 speed. You go better.
260. You gotta wait for champions to get that extra EV or whatever. I don't think it actually works like that, but
it only works for mons that like are investing in 3 stats. So like your Sash Pokemon that's going 252 has an extra 4 now. But for anything that's investing in like 5 stats, it's the same amount of stat points.
That's so weird. So strange.
Yeah. It'll be weird to get used to calcing for that.
I don't think it'll matter that much.
It might matter for like a weird Sash guy versus Surging Strikes or something, but
I love this because this is like still building completely on your guys' dynamic from the shiny Miraidon conversation earlier. Like Daniel's just like, it's not gonna come up, and Dylan's like,
it will not come up. It'll never matter.
I'm getting a good understanding of this. You guys bring different dynamic to the team building group, so that way you guys counterbalance each other. Of course. For sure. You gotta have the person who's too concerned about everything and the person who's just vibes.
Wait, okay. So the difference is you can run 252, 252, 12 instead of 252, 252, 444, right? That's the difference?
Yes, effectively.
Okay. I could see the difference being that the extra 4 EVs, doesn't that like, you can't run more than I think that might like put some Pokemon, make it so some Pokemon can run a better like HP number for like Rillaboom recoil, not recoil, but terrain. But then you still can't, like, if you wanted that, you could always just run 244 attack investment anyways, right? So
but it's like, I think it's just a set amount of extra points you get to add to your stats. I forget how it actually works. I haven't looked into it because I don't really care. I'm waiting until it comes out.
Yeah. The one Pokemon that I see it coming up for, because I run I brain calcs for like the Pop Bomb Mousehold, and that's the one that it lives a lot more stuff if you can just invest like a couple extra points in bulk, but you can't invest the extra points in bulk because you really do need max attack. Like every single Pop Bomb loses damage if you run 244 attack. And so that's the one where I look at it and I say that at the 12 HP EVs instead of 4 might actually make a difference.
So we might see some other silly niche examples like that come up in the future. But yeah, well, ultimately, I'll just see how it ends up working when that game comes out. I'm just waiting for a release date. Please give us a release date, even if it's like in March. Just tell me when it's coming out. Okay, so
you just want to know if Seattle is going to be in Champions or not.
I do want to know that so badly. Anyways, this is the best team in the format without a doubt. And of course, Lele was stupid for running Disable, make it Encore, and then you made his team better. So, you know, I'm just joking, of course. But yeah,
I think if stuff like this keeps going, I think that Marco's son might come back a little bit more. I don't know how great the matchup is into that. I don't understand how this many of this team are in Top Cut. I understand it winning. It's a great team, but it's not a meta-defining team, I feel like, in terms of how strong it is.
I think it's just like, you know, tickled the fancy of enough people. People liked it, I guess. That's the thing.
Where is Amoonguss? Why did he die?
That's a good question. I would love to get into it because, yeah, Amoonguss, it looks like it's 0 placements in the Top Cut here. I'm not seeing any of the fungus. Did it just... Nope. Well, there's 2 of them there. And then Marco's son, but that's Marco himself.
From the sun.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know. The thing about Amoonguss is, like, when you talk about Top Dog Golden Go being everywhere, that part makes it really tough. And it doesn't seem like a lot of these teams are disrespecting it either, is the hard part. Like, they are still running safety goggles on the Incineroars on these winning teams, despite, you know, Amoonguss might not be like the... It's a very good Pokemon, of course, but maybe it's not the largest part of the hardest teams that they have to beat, because ultimately, you know, every game that you won in Top Cut was against not Amoonguss, which are technically the hardest battles in the tournament. But you're playing... It's just fine enough to play down an item on Incin, and then there's just, like, a lot of... super effective coverage, or like it's important to have super effective coverage for some of the things that Amoonguss is weak to, I guess. That could be another factor, like flying, ice and fire, psychic, flying. Well, these are all the same teams, though. flying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess maybe there's just a lot of things hit it super effectively, and it just and Golden Go is not its friend.
Yeah. It had a lot of competition from other redirectors, but also I think like Sinistcha especially really picking up in usage, I think competes with the Amoonguss in a way that, I mean, Rillaboom obviously is a very different Pokemon, fits the grass type slot, but like Sinistcha does do a lot of the same things, and after its performance last weekend, I think that that's part of why Amoonguss underperformed the Pittsburgh, and maybe just has a bad matchup. I think it probably does have a bad matchup into the Ninetales, Goldengo, Goggles, Incin, Terra Flying Sneasler team. That probably is a tough matchup for it.
I do think Ninetales, Goldengo is definitely the strongest part of that team. It's just having a steel type plus like Ninetales with like I see what Ninetales is such a it is reliable enough at doing what it needs to do. It does enough damage. It doesn't do a lot, but it does enough damage to like kind of gets away with everything.
Right.
I just want Ninetales to be dead though, so I'm gonna vote for Marco's son.
Wow, no, dude, don't. Go ahead.
I'm gonna steal this one from Justin Tang because I watched this video on recapping this tournament, but that Sneasler set is just kind of like Hawlucha that needs to Terra for the flying stab, but like it's still just better because Hawlucha's that bad.
Give it time. The Mega's coming.
Hopefully the Mega though can change
the Mega
things,
Unburden,
maybe.
very useful.
Yep. No. Keeps unburdened. Mega balls.
Keeps unburdened.
Man, all right. What is Hawlucha's other 2 abilities? I think one is Limber, which
Limber,
is like...
I think is the
Limber and Mold Breaker, right?
Wow.
We
Yeah,
can use Mold
that's
Breaker.
right.
We can use Mold Breaker. We can work with it. It's like okay.
I don't know.
I
It's
think
just
he'll
got
get
to-
Defiant, and it'll be really sad when you get intimidated on the turn that you click Mega Evolve.
Okay, I think this is the biggest issue with megas is that they gave megas to a lot of pseudos already. So the new megas are all competing with the existingly really strong megas that are hard to beat. Like it's hard to beat a Kangaskhan who now can't get intimidated, or a Metagross
True.
who now, or a Metagross who now has Heavy Slam. By the way, sort of ruined
Yeah.
Heavy Slam Oko's.
Goes Kangaskhan and
everything.
Rillaboom.
Yeah.
We're not gonna have sort of ruin. Chill.
Yeah. I'll
It's
be
still
putting my
yeah.
my Stone Journer there, whatever. Anyway, like it's just like Starmie, like is like what I don't know what the BST of Starmie is, like 7. Let's see.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
And there's just
Sounds
not
good.
there's just not enough there's just not enough good like Pokemon that are getting megas except for Dragonite. Dragonite's obviously the exception. But like most of the megas are probably not gonna become viable if there's a Mence or a Zard, or sticking around spitting out its crazy stuff.
I will say, I don't know 100% what it's going to be like on release, but when we started Sword and Shield, we had all of the Gmax available in the game, and then they actually like rolled them out into the format as we went on. So it sounds like we're starting with Mega Evolution as the mechanic that we'll be competing with in Champions. They did already kind of confirm that for the first format, but that doesn't mean that we have all the megas. So they could just take like, hey, we're only going to let the new megas be in the first one. I think they've shown a good number of old megas. So like this is probably a very easy theory to just say like, no, that's not going to happen. But I think that it's like maybe not entirely that way, but
will absolutely be there.
yeah, like that's the thing. Like Megazard, it's already shown it's probably going to be legal, but like they could absolutely just take like a batch and say like, yeah, like, okay, Nerder now is pointing out that it lined up with some like raid events and stuff like that. I mean, we don't know how we're obtaining all of the Pokemon in Champions. There absolutely could be some kind of like ladder events where it's like, oh yeah, you can get Mega Charizardite by, playing in this weekly or weekend ladder tournament or something like that. Like there's all kinds of different ways that this game could roll out stuff like this. Anyways,
I also think one thing worth noting, especially if you didn't play with megas, is that you don't just get to run one mega on your team. There were a lot of teams that ran 2 megas on them. And one of my favorite dynamics with Mega Evolution is that if you run a Pokemon, like Garchomp that doesn't really need its item, Garchomp, I guess Tyranitar is a better example. Tyranitar didn't really need its item, but in some matchups, you really want to be able to reset sand. So you put the Mega Stone on it and you say, this is a matchup mon, right? I'll Mega it if I need to, but otherwise it's just Tyranitar. Yeah, it's a little less bulky than you'd like it to be, but you get to do things like that. I ran like what did I run at Worlds? I ran something stupid. I ran a team with Mega Gyarados at NAIC. Alex, it's the first time we played with Mega Gyarados and a Mega Aerodactyl, and had matchups where I'd Mega one of them, and Mega the other matches where I Mega the other, and I'd bring them both like just because Gyarados changes typing, and sometimes you really want the water flying type and Intimidate. So I really love Megas because of some of those interactions. It wouldn't shock me if you see, like a Mega Malamar. I don't know if they revealed its ability, but that's like a type of Pokemon where I could see, it can just do its contrary thing. But then also maybe you want to Mega it and situationally and do something else with it, right? So
those are the what Malamar's base stats look like if it doesn't Megas?
Shut up! You're a hater. You're a hater.
Bad news for you there.
How many stats do you think it has that are over 100?
I was joking to this with Daniel, and I saw this thing's stats, and yeah, he just said none of them are over 100. I'm like, this reminds me of like a Gen 1 stat spread. So like, let me look up like just a random Gen 1 guy. I thought Hypno. So I Google Hypno on Showdown. Hypno's base stat total is 483 and Malamar's is 482. So the one that I randomly thought of is 1 point higher, even though it's from Gen 1.
Okay,
But
hold on. Really quick for the I think the main thing to keep in mind with these megas is that they're absolutely allowed to cheat stats if possible. I think Mega Beedrill and Abomasnow are the best examples. Mega Abomasnow, they made a lot slower, so that ended up adding base stats elsewhere when its speed wasn't really being used. And then Mega Beedrill, they just min-maxed the shit out of its stats, so it was actually still viable. They can easily just like take, Malamar's whatever its special attack stat, reduce it all the way down to 10 or something if they really want to give it extra stats. Maybe not that low, but they can definitely cheat, and abilities make up for a lot of things as well.
Yeah, but
abilities are the biggest factor.
Because items have gotten so much better. Like you got
That's
Coca
true.
Cola
Right.
Clam now. And also, I think closed team sheets or open team sheets probably make double mega like a lot worse.
That's kinda true.
Not unviable, but I'm sure that it's like not nearly as good because like having the typing change probably matters a lot more if people don't know that it can happen.
That's why we're going back to closed sheets.
Yeah.
So.
No,
I know.
Not to harp on this for
For
too
real, for real.
much, but they can also just buff the mon like on its own, and I'd be very surprised if I'm not going to speak on leaks or anything, but like again, like Daniel said, it's very hard to like make a new mega keep up with the old ones if you're buffing like Malamar's stats, or if you're going off of Malamar's stats and adding 100. But they can just add like a base stat buff, like they did in Sun and Moon with they gave like Pelipper some special attack and Torkoal some special attack. They can just do that to the base mon, and then it'll basically be like the mega got more than 100 stats, even though like But yeah.
No, that is fine.
Yeah.
That's a way too. There's a lot of things that could happen that we don't even know. Go ahead, Adi.
Daniel mentioned one of the ones that hasn't officially been announced yet, and I don't want to talk about leaks at all. But there are. I am looking at the list of announced and unannounced ones because I want to make sure I don't speak on one of the unannounced ones. But I'm looking at the unannounced ones, and those are some of the ones that I think would be a little more viable without megaing them. Whereas the ones that are announced, I think I'm a little less optimistic about. Like, I'm sorry, I think Victory Bell is just going to be bad. Like, I think Malamar probably is not going to be it.
Just wait for the abilities.
Just wait for
the abilities. The abilities are gonna break.
It's gonna be corrosion. That's gonna save it. Like no, I'm not using it.
Just wait for Malamar to set Trick Room on Switch in, and it's gonna be the most broken thing in the game. You're gonna be able to set click Mega and immediately Eruption with Torkoal. No, they're not gonna do that. But I hope they do, because then the counterplay would be to use your own Mega Malamar and just play the 50-50 with your opponent. It's like, oh, do I click Mega to reverse your Trick Room on the turn you do it? And then you get it wrong and you give them Trick Room. No, it's not. It's fun to think about.
Everyone's got it completely wrong. It's actually going to make the battle an inverse battle. That is what Malamar is going to do.
It's going to flip your switch.
It's going to flip your opponent's switch, and it's going to squirt ink on their screen like in Mario Kart when you get the squid.
You can't see what you're doing for a turn?
Muscle memory time.
That's so dumb.
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? You can play champions on your phone, right? So what if you just play it vertically and they just flip your and they make you flip your phone?
How would they do this on Showdown? That's what I want to know. How would they implement it?
Oh my god, dude. So stupid. Anyways, I see Tabu in the Tabu in the chat here. Congrats on the Victory Road win. And yeah, the best team in the format. I mean, I'm not gonna fight you too hard on it, considering what we see in the results from this tournament. 5 of the top 11 is just insane. It's basically the new chalk, everybody. So just
Big 6.
It's Big 6.
I've never seen a team do well in
It's Ring Sun. It's like 70% Golden Go usage though, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah, like
in day 2.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds about right. Jesus Christ, though. Holy. Oh my god.
I do think that this team is very strong, but I think it's also, part of what I love about Reg H is that it does feel like you can adapt to anything. You can, if you want to beat a team, you can beat a team. You can find a way to beat it. And this team is using tools that people haven't fully maybe built their teams to beat, like that Yawn Terra Electric Ursa Luna that just gets so much healing with leftovers and grassy terrain. It just lives forever, right? That is a thing that you can team build to beat, but it's something that people maybe haven't. Same with that Grassy Seed Sneasler set, not the most common. With Acrobatics, was around in the metagame, wasn't around in as a prolific manner as it has showed up the last few weeks. But those are beatable sets. It's just that now you have to team build to beat this team, and it probably has to jump up to the top of your priority list, or maybe behind Rain. I still think Rain has to be at the very top of your priority list, but second on your priority list. And I think that it's going to be a consistent team, but we saw that with the team that Zeno won a regional with, was it Stuttgart last year, I think, and then won Perth regionals. Like, everyone thought that team would be the team to beat. Hasn't been anywhere in this format because I think everyone knows their matchup into it now. Everyone's prepared for that team now. Amoongus, like everyone's countered Amoongus Incin so much now with the Goldango usage and all the stuff we talked about earlier. And now we just see a different version of balance come and take its place as, hey, actually, this is the best version of balance. And I think we're going to see that cycle continue where, there's going to be some version of Incin Goldie stuff that's going to be the best team in the format or the second best team in the format and omnipresent. But it might not be this exact version of it moving forward, right? And that's the fun part. That's the fun part about Reg H.
Dude, I think I've talked about this slight tangent before, but the way that Victory Road organizes their Pokemon definitely like makes it so visually obvious when like there's a lot of like the same Pokemon in a present on in a top cut or something like that. Like they have a really good system for this because like even teams that have Pokemon different are like still arranged similarly. Like for example, the two Basc Legion teams both feature Basc Legion in the last slot
There's
here.
3. Got you. Haha.
Wait a minute.
Third Basc
Yep.
Legion in 4th place. You got fooled.
Oh, there it is. See, it's in the wrong slot. There, it's in the bear slot. Oh. Yeah, I guess 3. Yeah, no, 2 Basque Legion teams on snow. What, dude? The bear, they ruined it all. You've ruined the whole thing for me, Daniel. Now I can't. I'm gonna have to close out of the site, dude. It's over. Yeah, I can't even look at it anymore. I think that though it just shows you with this metagame, in my opinion, though, it's most important to be ready for strategies as opposed to teams. And that means like a couple of different things. Like, for example, maybe coaching is something that was difficult for your team, like coaching an ILAP or something. But like, it doesn't have to be like you have to beat coaching plus Dragonite or like and all the Pokemon that are around it. You don't have to be ready for exactly, Nasty Plot Golden Go because it's on so many different teams. Sorry, you don't have to be ready for exactly one Nasty Plot Golden Go team. You have to be ready for several Nasty Plot Golden Go's. So you have to be ready for teams that are supporting a Golden Go. You have to be ready for all kinds of different setup strategies. Setup is quite good in a variety of ways, whether it's Swords Dance Sneasler or Swords Dance Kingambit or Volcarona, going for Quiver Dance. Like, there's just a lot of setup stuff. So that's why a lot of teams end up going for Haze Dragonite. It actually looks like only one Dragonite in the top cut here, if I'm seeing that correctly. Wow, that's pretty crazy for Dragonite.
But we all know that the best speed boosting Pokemon is a Spathra, not Dragonite. So
true. Spathra's cool. That team did get 2 spots here in the top 11, the top cut here. So I mean, I guess it's not like just a one-off thing or anything. I don't remember if it ended up doing too well at Pittsburgh. I don't know if anybody ended up ripping it and doing too hot with
it. But well, I mean, look at who used it at VR, right? It's Roberto who is the person who had originally built the team, and then Alan Martinez, who, I mean, if you know Alan, this is exactly the type of team that he would use. So it does make sense that this is like a player poke team fit type thing, where just the good players who use the team and are comfortable with the team did well with it.
But yeah, back to what I was saying is it's just like you need to be ready for what Rain is doing, like in a vacuum for the most part. Like whether that is a Sinistcha Rain team or an Amoonguss Rain team, like you should have game plans for both, but you don't need to like that one change shouldn't disrupt your whole strategy. Ideally, you should have like things that are a little bit more well-rounded, and then also you make sure you're doing these things to your opponent as well. Don't worry too much about just like beating the metagame, but also doing unfair things yourselves, of course, because playing too anti-meta will definitely cause you a headache. But yeah, any other cool teams from this tournament? I know that MDB used the Kilowattrel Sand stuff, Marco using Sun, more Kilowattrel, funnily enough. Let's see. I don't know if anybody was cooking. Blaziken again.
That was the last. Was that the last one?
Yeah, I think so. And then another Kilowattrel down there.
Yes, triple starter, no pledges.
Yeah, no pledges.
Oh, is it actually?
I think it's kind.
Oh yeah.
I think it's kind of crazy that like despite the fact that like Ninetales was so prevalent in cut, I know like Rain did win, but like Rain still took 2 of the top 4 spots. It got 2nd and 3rd, and that kind of makes me think back to Pittsburgh, where there was a lot of hate for our team, but we still managed to get 3rd and 4th. I think like despite all the Rain hate right now, I don't think people are hating it enough. I think like you have to have like kind of like Alex was saying, you have to have like real consistent answers into like different builds of it. Just throwing a Ninetales on apparently isn't enough.
It's not. Ninetales is only okay in the matchup anyways. It's not all that good into Rain. Right. You really have to have pieces around it that facilitate it.
I think Ninetales is good into Rain. I don't know, me personally.
It's a piece, right? It helps you because it doesn't like taking attacks from
won't solo it.
Any of the Pokemon on the team, but it will allow you to turn off Rain and play a positioning game, and then you need your other pieces to actually win the game because it's not really out damaging. It's not actually beating anything 1v1. The Life Orb set can sometimes, chunk an Arcaludon or chunk if you run Freeze Dry, it could be a little more effective, but then you have to run Freeze Dry to your Ninetales, which also kind of sucks because you don't get to Blizzard in the other matchups. So, trade-offs.
Not a huge fan of
one of my-
Ninetales. It's got no stats.
I
the
think a
snow does a lot of
non-sash
heavy lifting.
non-sash Ninetales is a lot worse than the rain matchup because then the arch player just gets to be like, "Ooh, are you going to switch in this turn? Oh, you did. I flash cannoned you. Now it's gone." And then they just win the liver.
This team here is one that I could see picking up a little bit. We originally saw, I guess it was used by a Japanese player last Regulation H run, and then Cybertron ended up piloting it in Monterey, and then James Evan in Pittsburgh. And I think that this is a team that is probably going to stick around and is like honestly just genuinely really solid. It's pretty cool because a lot of the this is what we're talking about when you need to be ready for rain, is if you're ready for, AV Arch and Banded Bass and a lot of those types of things, this might completely throw your counterplay for a loop when suddenly both of those Pokemon are built completely differently, and you have to, be ready for, I don't know, Scarf Pelipper too. Like, just everything here is different, but it's still technically rain.
Barely a rain team. This is literally like half a mon who needs the rain to do its stuff in a matchup.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's just the rain can exacerbate like your already strong pieces. And I think it's also worth pointing out that the original build that Cybertron used and that the Japanese player was using, forgive me, I don't know their name, but off the top of my head, they had a Sylvest Bear, and James opted for the Ensign, which was also seen here. So I think like the big takeaway from this team too, like from a building perspective, is like if you like have a team that kind of it's really strong, like you're building this hyper offensive stuff, but it just kind of falls over, just throw an Incineroar on there. Like it's the best one mon guy to round off to give you somewhat of a defensive backbone. Because I think we saw Carson Confer do the same thing with Marcus Dion with that side spam team that they were using. It was another just kind of very like hyper offense prankster Tailwind team, and it's just like they're just in the Incineroar here, even though they had psychic terrain. So I don't know.
Right,
that guy might be good.
Maybe
same with the Hoge team as well, that just had an AV Ensign as the only defensive pivot on the entire team. It works, especially with AV. It's just bulky. You need to switch into Goldengo. That's really what this format like. I mean, it's 70% usage, right? It's such a big part of the format. You got to have something that can switch into a Goldengo.
Dude, it is just kind of like how did he get here? He just doesn't look like he's supposed to be part of the team, but it's Ensign. Of course he's supposed to be part of the team. It's Ensign.
So
he's always
weird.
part
like,
of the team.
This Ensign is out of place, but like, is he though?
The Ensign is the place. Yeah, I think that those are a lot of good points. Absolutely. And no, it definitely isn't really like a rain team, but I think it's another team that's just like definitely on the come up. It's one that I think has a serious amount of strength to it, and so you gotta watch out for it. It's quite an annoying one. Yeah, I think then let's go ahead and move on to Calc is right here to wrap things up. Of course, we got to start off with a foul play. Calc and a Miraidon. No, I don't think we're actually going to do that one. But if you guys have any Calcs here ready to go, let me know. Otherwise, everybody start thinking of some. But yeah, for people that don't know how this one works, basically, this is the Calc is right, and we all present each other with damage calcs and describing all the situation. And afterwards, everybody provides a guess, a single number within the percentage range, basically. So if I said, how much is Abomasnow's 220 Modest Blizzard doing to another Abomasnow, and you said 40%, and it's doing 30, 40, 41, you would get the point. Ultimately, it's not for any stakes or anything, just for fun to see how well we know our stuff. Does anybody have one that they want to start us out with?
I have one. I think I told Dylan beforehand though, so I'm gonna use it anyways. Okay.
All right.
It is really good, but I'll abstain for fairness.
Okay.
Even though I barely remember it.
Yeah, you can answer last since you know it.
Just answer last.
Remember it, because it's embarrassed if you.
I'll just answer last.
Okay. So yeah, this came up versus Alberto Lara. I knocked off his life orb on Garchomp and intimidated him. So it's -1, no life orb, Chomp EQ, single target into Ursaluna.
Into Ursaluna. Okay,
Into
so
Ursaluna.
Yeah.
What's the bulk on Ursaluna?
I'm just do max HP.
Max
close
HP.
enough.
Okay.
Well, we were 184, so 180 HP for defense.
Sure.
And then I guess we'll just assume max on the Chomp, right?
Yeah, max
Jolly.
Chomp.
Okay. All right. Single target -1 EQ. All right, I got my number.
Yeah, I got a number.
And then Dylan.
All right, and then I do too.
All right, you gotta call us out.
I'm gonna go Alex first.
All right, I'm gonna go for 30%.
Okay, and then it has to be Audie then.
Yeah. I got a similar number. I'm doing 35.
Okay, and then Dylan, who knows the answer.
I vaguely remember it. I might be overshooting a bit. I'm gonna say 20%.
Oh no, dude, don't do this. I guess it could just be a clear amulet Garchomp, right? I
Yeah,
guess
clear
clear
amulet
amulet's not
-1.
normally gonna end
Yes.
up at -1, but whatever, same
But,
difference. Ursaluna with
he clicked
Guts.
superpower. This is what...
180.
And then we can just use Stomping Tantrum too, because it should be the same base power.
No, it's
Well, no,
single
this was
target.
single target EQ.
Oh wait, yeah, true. So I did undershoot it then.
Oh my god, don't.
Wow,
do
we all
this.
whiffed.
No way. Yeah, we did all
Yeah.
whiff, but also
The low range
that's-
calc is a smaller. The low end calc is
Yeah.
a smaller.
Of course,
range,
of
but
course.
Easiest choice.
Jeez.
No,
That's so
You thought
pathetic.
you'd like lost that battle though, right? Because like you were
Huh?
like, how much HP were you
No, I
at?
won.
You thought you don't. You,
No, I
oh,
thought
but,
I
like,
lost.
You
Yeah,
thought
no.
you'd lost, like, but before you took the hit, you thought it was gonna do more.
Yeah, no, I was at like what 30%, and after a turn of burn, and then I was like, okay, well fuck it, I'm just gonna click my button. I'm not gonna forfeit. And then he EQs me and it bounces off. I'm like, okay, that works.
No way. That's so pathetic. This is actually this is why I was like looking at like the team that, what is it? We were just looking at VR. So MDB used this team that has like Kilowattrel and Garchomp, and then Chris Hahn used the Kilowattrel Ursaluna team, and I feel like the Ursaluna team is just so much more threatening because once you like, you know, set up a grassy terrain, Garchomp's like, I got Dragon Claw, buddy. Is that good enough? And it's just like, no, it is not. I'm sorry, Garchomp.
If he was a horse,
Facade.
maybe. If he...
Yeah.
He's not a horse,
Oh, man.
unfortunately. Can't believe this
All
is
right,
like the most terrifying guy for all casual Pokemon players. Look at him.
I know. Oh. All right. Anybody else have a calc ready?
Yeah, I got one
I've-
ready.
Okay, you can go first, Toddy.
Okay. So I want to do a Grassy Seed Sneasler calc, but you know it's got to be a defensive calc because how much is that Grassy Seed really doing? And so I assume that the Grassy Seed Sneaslers are still just 4 HP. So we're gonna go with that defensively, and then offensively we are just going to make it a very, very standard attack. We're gonna say Jolly 4 attack Incin Flare Blitz into Grassy Seed Sneasler. I don't know this one. So I'm just gonna, I imagine that you guys might have seen this calc because you might have played it, but so let's do it.
All right. And also, just for what it's worth, Ali, we'll probably run this as is, but just so you know, the Sneaslers, they're running a good amount of bulk, actually. I had to find that one out as well.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, the Grassy Seed one. So watch out for that. The amount of damage, though, into glass with this.
Okay, I have a number.
I've got my number.
I've got a number.
All right. We'll start with Dylan.
I'm gonna say 57.
57. Daniel, what do you think?
I'm gonna say 45.
45. And Alex?
I had 55, so I wasn't gonna change it, but I'm like really close to Dylan here. All right. Sneasler, let's see. Terra Dark Unburden, that seems fine as long as I just change the seed to No, I'm just gonna give it a +1.
Yeah.
I had to put up
Oh,
grassy terrain and everything. Ensign, give me is there a turbo one? Max speed? Yeah, that works.
It doesn't actually
Flare
matter, right? It's just 4 attack.
Yeah, but it just makes it quicker. And it looks like well, I know that Dylan, what did you say, Daniel?
No,
said-
I was 45. There, you were 57 and 55. So
Oh,
I am
yeah,
the one
yeah.
who's out.
You are the one that's out.
Yeah.
Tough.
That is a good thing to EV to get 2-shot by at the very least, for sure.
No, they definitely have. I know that there's like I forget how fat it was, but one of them survived like a Terraflying Terrablast from Tyranitar.
Yeah, no, they can do that.
All right. Anybody? I guess it's me and Dylan. Did you have one ready, Dylan?
I did.
All right.
So
Was it-
I don't remember the exact episode, but there was one a long time ago. I'm on the 0.1% viewers of Audie's channel, just to flex real quick. I've watched pretty much every single one. Someone brought up Memo Swine, and I've never forgot how they did a defensive calc instead of an offensive one. Because like Memo Swine, he's cool. You know that's like not my favorite Pokemon, but like, he's a cool guy. So I'm here to give him some redemption for all the Memo Swine fans out there. So you know, we what did we learn last time? He can't take a hit. So we're just gonna say we got to focus sash Memo Swine. We're max attack adamant, and we're clicking Icicle Crash into a max HP 4 defense Rillaboom. How much are you doing?
I know this one, so I'm not gonna answer. I'm gonna answer last.
Sorry,
So,
Memo Swine,
wait,
max
you-
attack, Icicle Crash into Rillaboom. Was that it?
Yes.
Adamant
Max
or Dollar?
adamant Memo Swine
Adamant,
crash
okay.
into a max HP adamant into a max HP 4 defense Rillaboom.
Okay, sure.
All right, I got my number.
I got my number.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
All right. I'm gonna start with you, Alex.
I'm gonna go for 100 on the dot, 'cause I feel like it's not even like a 100% chance to kill. But I'm just
Yeah.
gonna pick 100. It's an easy pick.
All right.
All right.
What about you, Audie?
You know, to metagame a little bit, I feel like you wouldn't do this if it somehow like if it killed, because that just feels too obvious. But I do really think it kills, so I'm gonna say 115.
All right. What about you, Daniel?
99.5 max.
Why would you say that? Let's run the count.
Standard Assault Vest seems to be good enough here. Mammo Spine Offensive Sash seems to be good enough here. No! I'm out of there. I should have picked 99. It was a safer pick.
0.5% off from being in the range.
Nobody runs max
There's a lot
HP
of-
4 defense Rillaboom anyways, okay? That's
Yeah,
such a,
it'll be
like,
fine.
that's
It'll
such
be
a-
fine. I'll take my 1 in 16 to get there on the 244s.
There's a lot of bad guys that have entered my builder, but and you know they almost always leave. But that was one of the more sad ones because I'm like, man, come on. They're
But, like,
counting
I'm
for it
pretty
without
sure,
realizing
like,
it.
For most most purposes, you hit the 20% boost with like a never melt or something. It usually pushes the almost guaranteed or the almost like guaranteed to live into guaranteed to die. But I'm pretty sure with this one, even if you give him never melt, there's a chance to live, like a 1 in 16 or a 2 or 1 in 8 to live.
And then also you're just gonna die to the glide. They're gonna glide you first.
Yeah.
You're just dead.
No, that's the reason why we're sash.
Okay, I've got mine, and I'm just kind of curious how much the multipliers rack up here. So I want to do a max, so max adamant Basket Legion last respects. It's max stacks. Basket Legion's the only one left. I guess not max stacks. We didn't
Six
revival
stacks?
blessing
5
anything.
stacks. 12
Yeah.
stacks.
We did
So
not
I
revival
got-
bless.
So I got 2 revival blessings. I got refresh. I got my leva berry.
Yes, no,
Tripping it over.
just a regular amount
You'll swap
of
Harvest
deaths.
Executor,
The,
like from SOS chaining.
yeah,
Wait,
the
can you-
Harvest.
Wait, is there a cap to last respects like actually in game, or
There
is it
is.
just
I
like
think
oh
it goes beyond 6, I'm pretty sure. I thought. But
It
I don't
does. I
remember.
forget the exact
It
number.
caps at 5,050.
okay,
wait,
so
what?
5,050 stack or
According
5,050
to
base
Bubble
power.
Wait,
100
okay.
deaths.
He's
Okay,
seen
never mind.
battlefields die here.
Yeah, so how much is that one? How much is, 100 stacks doing to an Incineroar? Ultimately, that's actually what we're actually going to be doing is how many does the max amount of normal stacks, so 3 deaths, with Terra Ghost, no Intimidate, on our Basket Legion, how much is that last respects doing to a 244 for Incineroar? So apparently these
Sash, I'm
Incins, if
assuming?
they're running Jolly, Sash on the Bass, not Sash on the Incin, so...
Are we
um,
adaptability?
We are adaptability, my bad, yes.
Adaptability Terra Ghost, and we're minus
Terra
1,
Ghost.
right?
We're not -1. I'm saying that no
Not
minus
minus
one.
1. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Into
How
this
much bulk in the
Incin.
instant?
It's just max, or sorry, it's 244.4.
Awesome, love that guy.
All right.
Also, I gotta say, Alex, if you're still in the chat, you gotta fix your calc and get it so I can put 100 stacks on my last respects. It's very important.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. You're talking about Nerd now.
You'll never know, it might come up.
Fix your calc. Unbelievable. I think I've got a number.
Okay. So 3 stacks, last respects, adaptability, choice band, Terra Ghost into
No, not choice
Ensign
band. Not
with
choice band.
what-
Focus Sash.
Not choice band. Focus Sash. Into what bulk Ensign?
244.4.
244.4. Jeez, so many multipliers. You try to anchor yourself and you start multiplying and you're like, where the fuck where am I? Okay, we're going off of vibes. I got a number.
Like I should know this. This is a calc that I should know.
All right.
Okay. I got something.
Okay, cool. Well, let's start with Daniel, since you seem the most sure.
Like Terra Ghost last respects from adaptability is the same as Banded with no adaptability. So I'm gonna say like 65%.
Okay. Adi?
I'm saying a little higher. My gut check says 75.
All right, Dylan.
I might be like overcompensating for the fact that this is a glass ensign, but I'm not going to change my number. I'm going to say 89.
What?
Yeah,
I
actually,
don't believe that.
I don't know
Maybe
the answer
maybe the
myself,
lack
by the
of
way,
intent
guys. And I was kind of curious if this had a chance to kill, genuinely, because we picked a bit of more frail ensign, and we put everything we have on this Bass. It's a strong move. Oh, I don't need to choose. No, I do need to choose.
Turn off the intimidate.
Yeah,
Turn off the
right
intimidate.
there. Then last respects. I don't actually know why we're going for the last respect. Let's just sun is up, I guess. I don't know, like because like maybe
You got locked into it.
Oh,
Yeah,
we got
Sash.
encore. We got an encore.
Ah, I see.
Okay, wait, what am I
Terra
missing
Ghost.
here? So
Terra Ghost.
Terra. Gotta change that. Go. Not ground. There's a couple of those, and then just 3x effect, right? That's the one for this. Okay.
No.
Last
Terra
respect.
Ghost.
Click
Click Terra.
This isn't going to change it much though because of how adaptability works.
Yeah, the adaptability Terra is a little bit weaker than you'd hope, but yeah, 68 to 80. Wow, to not even a bulky ensign at all. Let's see, who got it then? I actually don't remember all the numbers.
I got it. I said 75.
Adi got it. I was too high.
I was too low.
I'll also do the
Dang.
PSA real quick for anyone who might like play this set or use it. If you Terra Ghost, you lose your adaptability boost on your water moves.
That's true.
Which is pretty funny. But also, I consider Terra Stellar because I'm like, maybe that would be cool on this set, right? Because you get to just pick whatever boost. Terra Stellar does nothing with adaptability. It doesn't actually buff your damage at all. Like you still get the animation and stuff, but like it just has no effect. I think that's really funny. Just like to add that real quick.
Almost.
Yeah.
I honestly don't believe it, but it won't come up because I'm not running Terra Stellar adaptability on anything.
I'm also kind of in the camp of like, I just don't even believe this. This sounds crazy.
This is just what Bulbapedia said, so I don't know.
I get you. I've
been wrong before.
Came out. I remember in the GC last times I was running Sylveon, and the Basque Legion was Scarf adaptability. It Terra Grassed in front of my Sylveon for no reason, and because of it lost stab or lost its adaptability boost, I guarantee live every time.
Yeah.
Like from guaranteed KO to guaranteed live.
Those defensive ones, it's a last resort. Go ahead, Daniel.
I hate I hate adaptability Terra because it's not even enough of a boost to turn some like rolls into guaranteed. Like I believe if you just do Terra Water Scarf adaptability into Golden Go, it like the change from non-Terra to Terra is still a roll in both times. It's just a better roll. Like I hate adaptability. Why did they do that? Why'd they do that?
No, they did the right thing because we didn't want to make it overpowered, right? Like that's really the concern. It's like a Basque Legion's already one of the best Pokemon in the format. We didn't need to make it better.
A little bit, true. Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, well that's gonna do it for this week's Tub Takes. Thank you guys both for joining us, and of course, congratulations on your top 4. Really solid runs for you both.
Yes.
Thank you.
So much.
It was really cool coming on.
I also, as mentioned earlier, look forward to the team report coming out on Darsh's channel, Dark Type Darsh over on YouTube. Definitely gonna be looking forward to watching that one and learning more about the team and the spread and such. Also on this will be on YouTube tomorrow on Adi's YouTube channel, CK49 on YouTube. So if you were here now but you didn't catch the beginning, you can always go check us out over there, as well as some of the other team reports Adi's done.
like I said, we got Matt Titt on last week, and I'm working on a new video that'll hopefully be out this week that I've been kind of working on for a while, but I keep getting distracted. Thank you for all the support. The Pacharisa video did really well. People were interested in merchandise, so I might be trying to get that, see if that's something that I can do. Working on a T-shirt or something like that. So yeah, look forward to maybe that. Don't expect that anytime soon, but that's starting to figure the pipeline out. So lots of fun stuff going on in the Audieverse, I guess.
I don't think I'll remember, but I do have my Audi T-shirt. Maybe I'll wear that one on the next episode. Because it's not Audi merch. It's actually just a birthday shirt. But anyways, I'll probably be streaming this week as well, so make sure to come by and check that out. Doing some more just regular streams. Anyways, yeah, that's gonna be it for us this week. I'm gonna figure out who we're gonna throw the raid over to.
I'm gonna send you guys over to Professor Morph Plays. He is one of my TOs from Toronto, and he's playing some Reg J. So go say hi to him.
Awesome. Yeah, do go say hi for us and everybody else. Otherwise, have a good night, and we'll catch you guys around. Peace out, peeps.